So nothing inappropriate, no little sly jokes, anything like that. Okay? Cool?
So I can
Okay.
do my intro now,
Yep, go
or
ahead. Yep, go ahead, Dusty. It's all you.
welcome everybody. This is me, Dusty Circuit, for another ACO Player of the Month.
Welcome, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. A little bit all over the place. So welcome. This is August. I cannot believe we're in August. This is pretty awesome. We made it.
Yay.
Yay. So, all right. So, welcome to our August Player of the Month. Last month's Player of the Month was our Player of the Month was Emrez. So, one more final congratulations to Emrez for being chosen by your peers. That was pretty awesome. Today, we're going to go ahead and start first thing with the Player of the Month because I do have a few things I need to talk to you guys about afterwards. So, this player, actually, interesting. We had a lot of votes this go around, and I don't have the exact number. I can't remember, but it was a lot more than usual. And we had it so spread over. It was, multiple players were nominated by certain people. So we had, I think, a total of like 10 players that got more than one vote. And that's pretty awesome because it shows that you guys are seeing the good in everybody. It's not just where some months we have one person just wins by a landslide, things like that. This player actually won by 2 votes. We had like I said, multiple players with multiple votes. A few of you had quite a few. So it's pretty awesome to see. We are going to be making some changes to Player of the Month. I did take all of your guys' suggestions that you had into consideration. The admins have been talking about it and we'll continue to talk about it. Most likely, what we're going to do is to keep per se the player of the month because a lot of you felt very strongly you like this tradition, and this is very classic ACO. We've done player of the month from the very beginning. We had a couple year break from it, but we brought it back and it's part of ACO. So we will continue this side of it, but I believe we're also going to be adding in where you guys have an opportunity to say something very kind about someone that did something in the past month, similar to the system over in AC, where you'll have a book that you can drop into a hopper or drop in and it goes into a chest. And I can relay that stuff during Player of the Month. I think it's a good balance of keeping the traditional, Player of the Month here on ACO, but also giving us opportunity to acknowledge more than just one player because we are a pretty strong community and we all play a very important role. And it's kind of cool that we get to show that side of it and not just, spotlight one particular player. You guys all think that's a thumbs up, good idea? Yep. Okay. And like I said, this is just kind of still in the works. We've had Player of the Month the way it is right now for a very long time. And so we're trying to keep the tradition, yet add in a chance to recognize more of you at a time. So, all right. Now, that being said, this month's Player of the Month, and again, keep in mind, admins do not vote. The way this works for the newer players that are here is the way Player of the Month works is you guys vote for the players, you as the community. That does not have to be just something you see in game. It could also be something that you see in Discord because our community does stretch out beyond just the Minecraft game. It's in our Discord. And some of you really stand out in each area, and then some of you stand out in both. And it's a great way for players to say, I didn't really see that player in game much, but in the live channel, they really supported me and helped me. Or, I had questions in Tech Talk and they really solved my problem or something. So always keep in mind, it doesn't have to be something you only see in game. It could be something that you see elsewhere. So this player actually had quite a few votes. I won't go into numbers because we have so many players at this point, but I'll say that they got some really great comments that went along with it as far as jumping in, helping out, assisting with birthday builds, assisting with other builds, talking to players and channels. It was really, really great to see someone, that the rest of you guys saw what I saw. Because I don't vote, it's very hard for me because I would probably want to vote for all of you. But I did also recognize that this player has really stood out this past month. So, with that being said, if I can please have Mex come on up to the front. Where are you, Mex? You are our August Player of the Month. So, congratulations. Mex. There you go. And we'll get the signs changed over here in a little bit, but there's your head. And after player of the month, I'll actually change the signs and take pictures, and we'll do all that after. But so if you guys want to tell Max congratulations, he did so great this month. It's been so great to see him really kind of come out of his shell and be more vocal. Yes, we've heard him talk, but not just vocal, but just really all over the server trying to help each other. So if you guys, perfect. All right, so thank you, Mex. I appreciate you coming up here. I know this is probably a little out of your comfort zone, but you've done really great, and everybody noticed. Again, I had no part in that. That's your community members seeing it. So, all right, so moving on here, we've got a few things to go over. I'm going to go. One of the big things we're going to talk about is farms and automations and the farm team and what purpose they play in here. But before I do that, there's a few things I want to go over as far as just regular ACO business. So Netherhub, we've had a lot lately as far as, making sure players adhere to the rules. Do we want to have per se quote unquote rules from the Netherhub? No, we don't. I mean, the less rules ACO has, the better. But at the same time, we do have players that are trying to kind of go around things, maybe not necessarily doing what we're asking them to do. I don't want it to get to a point where it actually has to be a written rule where players will argue with me that, oh, that's not a rule, I can do what I want. It doesn't really work that way. We're a community and we work together. You guys know we often have the, what's it called, rule, guys? What I call it, the one that covers everything.
Don't be that guy.
Exactly. The don't be, everybody types it. The don't be that guy rule. Let's try to leave as much as we can at the don't be that guy rule, okay? So I'm going to kind of go over this one final time. Please let this be the last time I have to say this at a player of the month. So the gray areas are off limits. Don't post banners there. Don't post signs there. Just stick to your obsidian. You may use one block out only. I prefer if you cannot use a block, try not to. Does it look bulky in the hallway? Yes, it does. Ideally, you guys would stick to banners, signs, and heads, but I know a few of you have blocks. I'm not going to make you take the blocks down, but try to keep it as clean as possible. I've gone over a few times the Nether Hub. Think of it as an apartment complex, right? We all share the common areas. Those are hallways. Those are our hangout areas, things like that. Your actual door, which would be your quote unquote apartment door, that's your portal. That, if you want to hang a wreath on it or hang some decoration on it, like a normal normal apartment would be great, but you wouldn't be able to hang stuff on the hallway next to it. Do you guys understand that? So just try to stay to your door frame, aka your obsidian. So now don't try to slip one by us. Don't break blocks under and cover it up thinking nobody will notice. We do notice. Sometimes it's a lighting issue. We do our best to keep the lighting very well in there, keeps the piglins away. So make sure you guys are not trying to still make adjustments by doing things that maybe we will or won't see. Just don't do it. Just use your portal frame and anything inside your portal room, it's all yours. Obviously, you guys can do whatever you want for decorating. Keeping it clean on the outside not only helps us find portals, but it also helps us not, have your stuff going into your neighbor portals area. So please, that also means the floor. So no removing carpet, no removing sea lanterns, no placing signs right in front of someone's portal. If you want to put a sign to someone saying hi, put it inside their portal room. So you wouldn't put it, you think of it like if you were in like I said, an apartment complex, you wouldn't leave a piece of mail in the middle of the hallway for them. You would slip it through into their room. So, all right. Does anyone have any specific questions on that? I feel it's so simple. Like, I don't see why this.
I got a slight question. It came up with when I decided to try and fix the directories, which people weren't so happy about, which I understand. But I've been coming across portals which they've either removed the number so you can't tell which one it is, or even worse, there's no proper identifier.
Right. I'm actually about to talk about that. That's next. Does anyone have questions about the rules though, per se, like what you can and can't have? Okay. If no one is at home, deliver puts into your paper trash bin. Yeah. Well, you guys keep in mind, we have a mailbox. I mean, we have a post office. So You can use that too. If players don't have a post box, just go and do a mod rec next to one. I'll make sure you guys get it. Okay, so JW, are you able to mute you? There's really bad feedback from. There you go. Thanks. Okay, so here's the next thing. I provide you guys 2 heads and a sign when I light a portal. It's really important those heads and signs stay there. If you want to remove one of the heads, I understand that, but try to please at least leave 1 head and a sign with your name. And it's important because if, let's say I need to light a portal for you, sometimes I will spend, I kid you not, 15-20 minutes trying to find a portal. And players can tell you that's true, because I will often ask, do you know where so-and-so's portal is? We have so many. We have like 118 portals. Okay, so it's easier if I can go and see there, if I know what your skin head is or something, and I'm able to find it, a lot easier. I'm a lot happier. I can get a lot more done in a time frame, other than having to run around and look for everybody's portals. So please leave your signs. Now, the system that was put in place that has the numbering, that was done by Iota, and he's not very active at the moment, but we need to keep those there as well. That is a really good identifier. Some players like to use it. They'll say I'm on B2, or whatever the number system is. And that works for some of you guys. Personally, I don't use it. I've never used that system, but I do know that that Iota is the one that started that. It was a great system at the time. I'm going to actually check in with him and see if he's wanting to keep doing this. Martin M and Tabby updated the books last time, and they do have copies of the books. Yep, Modkiller has a spreadsheet of the names. So I'm going to talk to Iota and see if this is something that he wants, if he's able to keep continuing to do. If he can't, we'll probably just put together a little group of like a little team that can go in and make sure. It changes all the time. You guys know that. We get new players all the time. And so the portal rooms obviously need updated pretty regularly. And I do understand why you did that the other day, JW, because it needed updated. The only thing is we say try not to do stuff like that without asking first, because we do have dedicated people that already do that. That was the only issue that came up with that. It wasn't that you wanted to help out. It's just that
Yeah, it was that
we
I
actually have
didn't
books.
ask the people that needed to. It'd be like adding an extra block or something. I understand what you mean.
Well,
It's
it's
just
more
that
than
when I
that.
was
We
going
have
through
books.
checking the portals, I was finding like the best example was on the portals. It listed George ACO's portal as, on the wall it was like 1B10. On the book it was 1B11. 1B11 was 1B12,
Yeah,
and so on.
I don't know why that was, but that's something, again, we have players, like, there's copies of the books. So for instance, if you make changes and then the books never change because we have official copies, then we kind of run into a mess. So this is kind of a great reminder, guys. And this had come up actually a couple times in the last week. If you see something not right, just really quick do a mod rec and say, hey, Blue, are these being updated? And I'll let you know what, they haven't been updated in a week. Let me get with the people that do it. Or if something's broken, if you see blocks missing, it's important to not just fix it right then and there, but to let me know. And the reason why is because I can check and see how it got broke. Is something happening over and over that maybe we need to address, whether it be a player that's, continually breaking things or taking things, or is it even something like a mobs keep spawning right here and they keep breaking this lantern or lectern, or, it's important for us to actually look and see why these things happen. I have no issue with you guys repairing stuff. Obviously, that's great. You guys want to do that. But it kind of, if we're having, issues all the time, it's better for us to see why it's happening. Okay. All right. So, and does anyone have any other questions about the Netherhub as far as the portals go? Anything like that before I move on? There's one more thing I want to talk about the Netherhub, but it's a little separate. So, any questions? Okay. All right. So, what's your question regarding that mod?
Basically, for the regarding the signs, if you look at a portal and look to the left of it, I believe that's where you will see the sign to the left of the portal,
Oh, you mean Iota's numbering?
or to the right.
I don't know. Like I said, I've never personally
Yeah.
used that. So I know there's a system, and I know some players do rely on that system, but I don't know. Maybe we can get Iota to explain it to us at some point. That would work. But okay. Do you have any other questions regarding? We don't really have time to have a discussion about this specifically. It's the whole point was please don't decorate the outside of the portal. If you guys want to talk about this specifically, we can, as a group, talk about it later and come up with maybe a better system or something. But we do need to include Iota because this was his area. All good? Okay. All right. One more thing, and this is kind of important. I talked about it when we went to 116. Do you guys remember that we sat up? We worked very hard on terraforming the outside of the Netherhub. We could not pick up and move the Netherhub to a new chunk, meaning we could have new Nether. But what we did was we brought new Nether to you, and I personally worked really, really hard in that area, making it look like new Nether. And unfortunately, people are still going in there and taking trees. They're still going in there and just removing those resources. Thank you, Emrys. And it's kind of one of those, we need to make sure we leave that alone. The other option is we protect it. I can't protect that area unless I protect the Nether hub. And I'm pretty sure you guys do not want the Nether hub protected. Am I right? Pretty sure that would stop you guys from being able to build there. And I know you guys like to mess around and play in the Netherhub and build stuff. So in order for that to happen, it is really important that we do not take those resources. I put a sign out. There's a sign in front of it that literally says, please do not do that. And so it's one of those things, if you guys keep doing it, it's something we might seriously have to look into. And I don't want that to happen. So if you need something, go out the other exit. There's another one that says new Nether, and fly out a little bit. And by fly, I mean use Elytra or just walk. You did your little Minecraft legs. Walk out and go and try and get some resources. But don't just go right out the Nether hub and grab them. Those are 100% for looks only. It's just so that we don't have, you guys remember what it looked like before, right? Massive holes everywhere, fire, like it was a mess. And we're trying to make it look nice so that new players that want to go out and see what the new Nether looks like without risking dying and going the other way, it gives them a nice little area to sit in and, to hang out in. So let's just really make sure we do that. I did put that in the announcement, but I understand some players aren't able to always see those. So you guys have any questions about that? We did blow up a hole out there maybe once or twice. Yep. So, and the few of you that have been going out there and fixing it along the way, I think Purple's done that a few times. I think other players are doing that. I appreciate that. So anytime you guys see, yesterday I did a mod rec where I stole my golden carrot. Did you throw it at me? There you go. So if you guys do a mod rec, I'm happy to fix it. If you guys just want to fix it, that's fine too. But again, do a mod rec and let me know so that I can see. That way I can address it with the players that are actually doing it, not just everyone as a whole. I know for the most part, you guys are really great about it. You're really appreciative to have it and stuff like that. So I don't think this is a big issue. But unfortunately, if I can't see who's doing it, then I have to kind of address everyone. So. All right, moving on. So that takes care of that. Well, this came up yesterday. There was a piece over at the mall that was turned the wrong way. And of course, I'd never noticed it before. But now that I know where it's at, my eyes will probably always look at it. Because now that we know it's off-centered or, turned, it will probably bother me as well. Do you guys as a group, oh, I know where it's at. I saw the picture. I ended up going there. But you guys know community stuff gets voted on by the community. We don't just make changes. So in the future, let's not just make a change. Instead, just do a mod rec. Let me know. I'll bring it to everyone and say, hey, there are sometimes things that are on purpose. There's a floating bed, as you guys know. There's a floating bed in the mall, a blue bed. And it's kind of, it was the first point that we started building the mall. And we've kind of left it there as a joke, but also as like a memory thing. That stays, things like that. So you might have a build that you have something turned sideways or something, and it's just like, because there's a really funny story that goes with it. Anything that there's like that, obviously, we're probably going to keep. Now for this, do you guys want that changed? Do you want it corrected? Do you want it left the same? Is this something you want to think about? Like, my vote is to fix it, but that's just because now, like I said, now that it's there and it's noticed, it probably will. I'm not OCD. I actually do. I am diagnosed with OCD, but my OCD is a little bit different. It's not going to be like drive me crazy, but I will probably always look at it. So What are you guys thinking? You guys want it fixed? Okay. Just gonna kind of look here. And you guys know Ragnar and Telly, they in the end were just joking around more than anything. I don't think it's that big a deal. I think it's one of those things that was the whole time like that, and now it's one of those, let's wait and see how long it takes for someone to see it. So all right, got it. And actually, that's a great analogy, Nin. It's like a piece of cracked sidewalk. The city should fix it. All right, so I believe it's already fixed. I'll go back and double check, but all right, so that moved on from that. Let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna go over one more thing. Pranking. Okay, so a lot of you guys have been pranking. I'm open to pranks. You guys know that, but that means that I am allowed to prank. One of the things that we are really big on is if you are not open to pranks, do not prank. It's like a give and take thing. I've heard a few times. No, I changed it. Oh, okay. I will fix it. Let me be the one to fix that. So I'll fix it. So if you want to prank someone, you need to be open to being pranked back. There's no one-sided pranks. It just does not work that way. So keep in mind, guys, if first of all, you need to make sure it's okay with the person to be pranked. And then once you determine it is, then that's fine. Go ahead and prank them. Prank them, but then just be ready to get it back. You can't be like, well, wait, you're not allowed to prank me back. Because it's just not fun that way. I mean, it's that completely ruins the fun of pranking. So just a little FYI there. Again, we're not going to have a rule on it. It's just a don't be that guy rule, but just be open. If you dish it, you need to be able to take it, kind of thing. Otherwise, the person it's just no fun. If you're the one having to clean it up all the time, you laugh for a minute and then you clean it up. But if you can't play it back, it just kind of kills the whole point of pranking. So if you're open to pranking, you're open to pranking. If you're not, you're not. Either way is perfectly fine. Just make sure that you're not one-sided on it. All right. Anyone have questions on that? And we have different levels. We have small pranks, meaning like filling the portal room, filling somebody's base. We call those small pranks. It shouldn't take more than about 30 minutes to clean up a small prank. And then we have what we call like destructive pranks. And those are the ones. So we have two levels. We have like big and little, right? The big one is you can literally blow up a base. You can use TNT. You can use all of that. The little one is definitely more of, things like more like what I would call funny but annoying pranks, where you have to just do a lot more cleanup. So, all right. And let's see. I mean, my portal, I had a prank played on me once where someone turned my base into an aquarium. Literally, it was filled 100% with water and fish. It was hysterical, right? It was really funny. I don't mind stuff like that. I love pranks. I have no issue with it. It's just more be ready to take it if you have to. All right, so moving on, real quick, tree plugin. What do you guys think? We've had it now for a few weeks, and we have some players that love it to death. They're like, wow, this is amazing. And then we have some players that are like, nope, it's just 100% not vanilla. Get it out of here. Now, one thing I want to say really quick about that is you're right. It's the tree plugin that got added was because enough players requested it. We looked into it, decided to go for it. But at the same time, it's not vanilla. But then again, look at what you guys are all sitting on the ground right now. That's not vanilla. If we really want to get technical, a lot of the stuff we have, the sleep plugin that allows you to sleep and not die in the night to phantoms, not vanilla. Let's see here. We can really get technical and go all the way down to mod recs. This is the things that we have put in place so that we can do these things for you, not vanilla. So there's kind of a fine line of what do we want. Yep, the portals. There's a lot of stuff that we have that is per se not vanilla. So we have to sit and go, where do we draw that line? We are a vanilla server. We pride ourselves on being pretty vanilla. We have no TPs, no set homes. You guys die, your inventory goes, poof. Like, we are pretty much a big, vanilla server. We try to stay as vanilla as possible. But then again, we come into these plugins that you guys really push for, such as the sit that took about 2 years to get approved, and then the tree one. So is the tree one too OP? Is it something you guys really like and are like adamant, like, yes, I really want to keep this one? Or is it something, I don't know about the toggle. I don't know. That's again, adding in that's something else that's making it again, not more vanilla, but now we have a toggle for something.
Blue, I need to address something, please.
Okay, can I finish just really quick? Okay, so what we're going to do is, just like we do with everything else on ACO, we're bringing it to you, and we're going to, you can, you guys are all giving your opinions now, and that's great. I'm actually going to put up a poll on the ACO talk, and it will be a yes or no thing, like are we keeping it or not keeping it, and we will go by majority for this one. Okay, go ahead, Dusty.
So it's mostly just about the actual plugin, but it's I think I can see why people are wanting a toggle for it, because let's say you're building with logs and you just want to remove the bottom log, but then the entire log goes away because the tree plugin did its thing.
Right. If you don't use an axe, it will just break the bottom log.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so I mean, there's ways around that if that's a specific issue for someone. Like, it's punch it if you have to for that one block.
Yeah.
And if you just want to break the one block, I realized if you hold shift, it just breaks the one block even with an axe.
Oh, well, see, there you go.
Okay.
So yeah, and again, I mean, we're not going to discuss this right now per se. I just wanted to explain that, for those players that are like, nope, it's not vanilla. You're like, you're right, it's not vanilla. But most of you that are saying that love the SIP plugin, like, or you love, this or that, or these other things that we have, like the sleep plugin. So it's just one of those things. It's kind of a fine line. It is OP. You're right. It's very OP. And that's what I said. It's not a yes or no. We don't say, oh, we keep all of ours or none of them. It's not that way at all. I'm just reminding, for some of the players, I'm just reminding you guys, there are other things that we do that are not vanilla, and this is just part of that. So, all right.
Yeah,
So,
people complain it's not really vanilla, but I'd say one of the main causes which caused ACO to die so long ago was because we were too vanilla.
I don't necessarily agree with that. We have a lot of players that love the vanilla aspect. We have players that don't play here right now because of things like the sleep plugin. So it's just one of those, it's give and take, and it's a fine line. And that's why I said, let's think about it. That's why I didn't want to make any decisions right away. Thanks, Maud. If you could not, that'd be great. It's one of those, like, I don't want to make decisions right away on it. I wanted you guys to have a little bit of time to use it and see, is there a way around it, things like that. For newer players, obviously it's amazing. You guys know what it's like on a survival hardcore server, your first day in, and you're trying not to die to mobs while you're trying to get wood so you can make torches, that whole side of it. So but anyway, again, I appreciate all of your feedback on this. I'm going to post a vote, and we're just going to do it the ACO way and see what majority wants. So all right, let's see. All right, so it's time to talk farms. Now, this is really important, and it's something I need everyone to take notice with. Hold on a second. And this is kind of an important discussion we're having, because this is the discussion we're about to have right now is what is going to be able to keep us from having rules. As you guys know, we've had struggles the last, I don't know, I want to say year or so now, with TPS, trying to keep everyone under control as far as limits with redstone, or things like that, and hopper limits and all that. And the admins got together and we kind of came up with some rules, but we don't want to have to implement those. And because this part of what makes ACO is we don't have those rules like they do on AC. We have more of, I trust you guys to do the right thing and not go over the top, right? But unfortunately, that's not always been able to be the case. So what we did was we came up with a compromise. The compromise is what we call the farm team. We have a team that is set of certain players, and they were handpicked for this. And this team is going to help keep everyone in check as far as the farms go. You guys should be able to see right now, if you look in Discord, you're going to see a brand new category, and it's called Farms Automations. One thing that is kind of a misconception is someone can say, well, I don't do automated farms, but I have an automated sorter, that tanks us, things like that. Maud, can you stop, please? I think they're asking you nicely to stop. Thank you. So, it's one of those, we're not just talking right now about, farms. We're talking about anything that's automated. So that could even be something like a super smelter. It could be something like like I said, like an automated sorter. And these are things that are very, very, very hard on our server. With as many players as we have right now, we're definitely at this point where we need to make sure that everyone is not taking more than they should as far as is, what would drop TPS. It's really important that everyone kind of stays on the same line. And the farm team is what's going to help us with that. So we have a group of players, like I said, and the way this is going to work is instead of having a quote unquote rule, you guys will see a channel called guidelines. Hopefully you guys can all see this. Can you guys see it? Can someone just let me know? Yes, they can see it. Okay, perfect. So the guidelines are going to be from here on out what you need to submit. If you're going to build a large farm, let's say you want a melon farm, but you don't know much about melon farms. And so you Google melon farm and it comes up a tutorial and you're like, this looks cool. I can follow a tutorial. I don't know much about redstone, but I can follow it. You can then, if you see that this is a large build, it's going to be over the 75 like hoppers, then you need to go ahead and submit it. And if you submit it in the suggestions and say, I would really like to build this, you can go ahead and put it in there and the farm team will take a look at it and say, yeah, this is great. Absolutely no issues with it. They might also look at it and say, oh, you know what, we're going to test this out, because honestly, we don't know how this is going to work with our server. One thing you guys have to realize is when you see these tutorials, oftentimes they're done on single player worlds, they're done in creative. If you read the notes, they might say something such as, works great, but doesn't work on paper. For those of you who don't know, we're a paper server. So you have to we will do the research for you. We will take all of that into consideration and we will actually mock it up and we'll test it and say, you know what? Yeah, this is great. The rule of thumb per se is 0.2. If your build lags the server by more than 0.2, now that's not 20 to 18, that's 20 to 19.8, okay? So that's how fragile this is. And as long as it's great, we're going to give you the thumbs up and you're going to be able to go ahead and do it. Now, if it's something, it's going to be something that they look at and instantly know, and they'll say, yep, this is great. Ideally, we will have a 24-hour turnaround to you and say, so we'll say, hey, yep, we looked at this. This is great. You can go for it and build it. Now, if we have limits, if we have to say like a 50 hopper limit or 75 hopper limit, it's going to kind of limit you guys on what you can build. But if we say, if you submit something that has 120 hoppers, but we mock it up and it's fine, guess what? You get to actually build it. So having the build team is a great compromise other than us just saying no. Yeah, hopper limits are stinky. I do agree. And this is the compromise of us not having to have rules, is more just having you guys submit. Some of you don't know much about redstone or farms, but you really want a melon farm, or you really want a wool farm, or you really want something, but you don't necessarily know how it's going to affect the server. We've had a few of these things built and they tank our servers because often people will go with the first YouTube they find, and those YouTubes are for very large builds that are for not personal size builds at all, and they're usually for not servers. So yeah, imagine if we only having 2 hoppers, this message was approved by the 75 hopper group. Yeah, the farm team pushed for 75. So the farm team set these up. We all as a group worked on these guidelines. And like I said, if you want to build something, and keep in mind, it's not just farm. Don't think farm, potatoes, carrots, automated farm. By farms, we're talking anything with automation. So that could be, again, the automated sorters, super smelters, anything that you guys, even village breeding, things like that, okay? That's how far this expands. Then please check in with the farm team first. Now, the farm team also has more responsibilities. One of the things that they're going to be doing is, okay, yes and no mod, you need to let us know what those are so that we can check them out. That's the only thing. So yes and no. If you have a farm that you're already using that is questionable, just be upfront with it and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. Some of them have already been grandfathered in. For the most part, they all will be, but at the same time, we have a few out there existing that are still really affecting the server. And do we want something that was built 3 months ago to affect our server to the point we have rules when everyone else is complying? No, we don't. So let's just be upfront and say, hey, these are my farms I have. Are they good or are they not good? And just so you guys are aware, another thing that the farm team is doing is they will be going through the existing farms, like our iron farm, our gold farm, our guardian farm, all of our actual community farms. They will be going through those and they will be, oh, hi, Nin. They will be going through those, and they will be making sure that they're maintained. Now, maintain doesn't just mean fixing them, it also means keeping up to date with finding the most optimal, the most efficient way of having the farm. And so the benefit to you guys on that is, let's say there's something, a new way to do an iron farm, they are going to be on top of that and they will get it already in place for you. If you guys come across something that you think would be really cool, use the farm talk questions. That's where that one will be for you guys to say, hey, can we get, we really need a wool farm. I keep seeing people talk about wool farm. So we really need a wool farm. So can you guys please get us a wool farm? This is where you're going to ask those things that you need. Yeah, a lot of you have individual ones, but I'm talking community. So if we want a community wool farm, if we want a community this or that, this is where you're going to put it. If you have a question and you're like, I'm using 60, I'm only going to use 60 hoppers, but I'm really not sure about this build. Can somebody help me? That's where you will do that. The farm team will not build for you. They will not build the farms for you, but they will definitely assist you in what they're building. Now, if you have a farm, let's say a Moodle is going to submit, she saw a mumbo jumbo video and she's like, I want this farm. And let's just say we have to say no. The farm team will never tell you flat out no. What they're going to tell you is that they will, what the farm team will tell you is, hey, you know what, this is great. We love this enthusiasm you have over this build. But unfortunately, this particular build won't work for our server. But instead, we found a way that this, this other build would. They will do their best to take the initial build and try to make it so that it will work. You guys won't be getting told per se no ever. You're just going to be getting told, actually, that part won't work and this is why. They will be testing it. They will actually be able to show you why. And then they will be able to give you a solution. That's kind of one of the things that we're really going to push for, is being able to give solutions. So, all right. Does anyone have any? Oh, one more thing. Let's say Jakey Breaky. Let's say Jakey Breaky's at the Guardian farm and he accidentally breaks something, and now the Guardians are swimming everywhere and they're attacking him. You guys have something that you can do now. So instead of pinging me or pinging Dusty, the farm team members all have a tag, and you will be able to ping them to tell them that something is broken. That is the only time that ping is allowed to be used. Okay. And that is only for cases like that. So for instance, like I said, if Jakey's there and this is happening right now, and Jakey's like, Guardians are everywhere, don't fix it yourself. Don't try to attempt to fix it yourself. But ping in the farm channel, the farm talk suggestion.
Give me an example.
Yeah. So ping and say at farm team and say the Guardian farm isn't working, something's not right. This doesn't happen often, but it does happen where the gold farm or the iron farm or the Guardian farm will break. It happens. We're a game in the end. We're just a game. So ping them and let them know, hey, the gold farm's not, I don't know why, but the gold farm's not working. Somebody will be able to pretty quickly get to you and make sure that, if nothing else, the farm is closed until one of the other farm members can fix it. We will make sure it's taken care of, but you will have access to that role to be able to ping that person, not ping a person, but ping the role. So now, with that comes responsibility. There's a few of you like to ping. Don't ping unless you have to, okay? It's like I said, it's kind of, when they get that ping, it's going to be, I still don't know where that hashtag, oh, when they get that ping, it's going to alert them so that they know, oh, somebody needs my attention immediately. So again, it's kind of one of those things, you're not going to want to just do it because, hey, I have a ping them and say, hey, I have a question, about automation. That's not what you would ping for. It needs to be something important. If you have a question about automation, you put it into the farm's talk questions area. When you guys are ready to submit, you put it into the farm submission. Once you put it in the farm submission, any talk from there on out has to be done in the talk questions area. Okay. Think of it as you're putting in your submission and you're walking away from that channel. The reason why is the farm team will take those submissions from there. Once the submission's completed, they will actually delete your post, or I will delete your post completely, and then they will let you know. We have a farm's voice. If you guys want to talk about farms, or let's say a Moodle suggestion, now Dusty needs to explain to a Moodle, you know what, unfortunately we can't do that particular one, but we can do this one and it's a lot easier, or whatever. That can all be done in the farm's voice. It doesn't have to be done in general or chill or anything like that. You guys have a voice chat for that. All right. So, anyone have questions about the farm team? Or about, and you guys have any questions for the farm team? Things like that. Most of them, I believe, are here right now.
Some
One.
just clarification.
Mhm.
No matter it's a personal or community build, we have to submit it.
Right, exactly. This is for community and personal builds. So if like you're like, I want a super smelter, that looks cool, and you Google and you find a super smelter, look at the guidelines, see what the guidelines say. I think we said 25, I believe. So for the super smelter, it's 25. If you're going to use more than 25 furnaces, let us know, because we know what that does to the server, and we can find, you might be able to go up to 30, but if we have to make rules, it's going to be 25. But if you submit it to a farm team member, they might check it and go, actually, this works fine. It did not lower TPS by more than 0.2. You're good to go. Ideally, you guys will have an answer in 24 hours. If it's something that they have to mock up, meaning like it's a big build of some sort and we actually have to mock it up and get into if it's something that we have to get into actually doing it out, things like that, then it could take a few days. Just know that we're going to do it as fast as we can. But is Turtle stuck? The new community one, you just have to jump into the middle portal. Yeah, in the floor, just jump in the floor. All right.
Yeah, whenever you submit something, we will try and get back to you to say, look, this is what we're going to be doing within at least within a 24-hour period, so you know that we're not ignoring you. We're there. We're working behind the scenes to make
Right.
sure to support you.
They have a channel that is not open. It's a farm team channel that they will do all their discussion in. And so you will get someone replying to you when someone takes that on and they take your request. They will thank you and say, we have your submission, we'll get back to you in 24 hours. And in 24 hours, you're either going to get the yes, okay, go ahead and build it, or you're going to get, hey, we appreciate your submission, it's going to take us a couple days because we need to mock this up. But somebody will be getting to you. And like I said, most of this stuff is going to be fairly easy for us. It's not, there's only going to be certain times. We're talking maybe like once a month we'll run into this where we actually have to mock up things and do testing and see if we can't come up with a better way, or a more efficient way, or something that's going to make it so that you can have the build that you want. So, all right. I think that unless you guys have any other super questions, if you guys have any other questions about farms, public farm, what's your question about public farm? Is it open? I don't have the portal yet, so no. It'll actually go into the farm team portal, and that will be put out hopefully later today, if not tomorrow. By the way, have you guys had a chance to check out the new portal rooms? We have an events portal room now, and we have a Wither Arena portal room. Those two are already active. Oh, they're epic. Yes, they are epic. I agree. Those are active and they're pretty fun. So it's kind of fun to have some new stuff going on, and now it's really easy. Yeah, you just jump into the hole. That's all. Just jump into the hole.
Dude, isn't it cool how we're all looking at you like you're like the king or whatever?
A little intimidating here, but sure. Yeah. All right. So the new portals are there. We still have the farms one coming. Hopefully I'll have that, like I said, ready to go either later today or tomorrow. And we can get that into oops, who just knocked me off? So we can get that done probably, like I said, in the next day or two. It takes time to move these portals. It takes time. I have to go and delete existing portals, relight new portals, move portals. We have portals still that haven't even been brought over since spawn went poof. So some of that, like Valentine's Day portals back, a few portals are back now that you guys haven't seen in a few months. So those are fun for you newer players. It'll be a lot easier to explore now. You guys can just go over and check out some of our old existing builds. It's a lot easier to see what is what now. So it's pretty cool. We've had a few people work on these things, and I think they came out pretty awesome. So, all right, I think that's kind of it. We have a few teams going. The arena team, we're getting 2 new PvP arenas. Like I said, make sure you guys are remembering it's PvP arenas, not Wither arenas. So it needs to kind of still have that whole vibe of PvP combat, but at the same time, just something different than what we currently have. We have right now we have an underwater one that portal will be in the new arena portal room. And then we also have the one that Dusty and Aquana built. And then we're looking at 2 new ones. The only one that's been kind of somewhat approved right now is what I'm calling the Taiga one. And that's the one that we're going off of. A lot of the concept was disses, but you guys have also added in a lot of cool ideas. So that one's lit. We're ready to go. You guys can start building on that one today. And then the other is the underwater. No, the underwater one is not the 75 event one. It's actually, you have not, some of you haven't seen it yet because again, we haven't used it in a while. And we're going to be bringing it into the arena. It actually doesn't even have a portal. The way we used to get to it was from Atlantis. So yes, do you have a question in?
I have a question, Blue. The in spawn, I know we had like a cave underneath Player of the Month building. Is that gonna, whatever it was, that tunnel underneath Player of the Month?
Wait, say that again?
We had a tunnel underneath Player of the Month building. Remember that? Was it to get to the spawn faster? Other
Yeah.
side? Is that gonna come back?
The tunnel, is it there right now?
Are you talking about the
It
one where every now and then you saw like an Easter egg thing put in there?
was blocked off, yeah. It's blocked off right now.
It's the
Yeah.
one in the separate
Oh, you mean the
cave.
one that Telly had blocked off because he said it was dangerous?
Yeah.
Dangerous.
It's dangerous right now. Players were getting stuck. So no. Eventually it will be, well, it's not that it's dangerous, it's just players were getting stuck. So they were having to use their /spawn because you can't build at spawn, so therefore you can't build your way out. So that was a problem with that. And I'll talk to Telly and we'll figure out we'll figure all that out. So all right, let's see. We're almost done here, guys. Really quick, we have one last thing to go over, and that is this past Hitman. But before we do that, does anyone have questions right now? Does anyone have ideas, suggestions? Yes, go ahead, Amudo. Hold on a second. Is the underwater one? No, the underwater one is not the 75 event. Is that what you're asking? No, the underwater one, the underwater arena, a lot of you have seen it, you've used it. Like I said, it never had its own portal because back when we made it, portals just weren't being lit. So we kind of had to move around not having portals. So this arena is actually out in the ocean near Atlantis. Put an actual an arena there, but I don't have one right now. Can whoever's got really bad background, can you guys mute, please? Okay, I'm not sure who that was, but all right. So anyone else have any questions, any suggestions, anything as far as her and BB and I built it. We built it like October of 2018. It's been a long, maybe even September. It's been a long time. So, but it's a really fun one. It's got the coral reefs and you have to fight while diving around and stuff, things like that. So it's pretty cool. All right, so real quickly before we go into close out with Hitman, I want to talk about we have 2 events coming up. They are, I believe, the 15th and 16th, if I'm right. If someone can double check those times, they're in the event channel. We are doing a drive-in, and the drive-in movie this time is going to be The Nightmare Before Christmas. So last time we used Netflix. We're trying to use something different each time because we have players that were like, I don't have Netflix, I can't get it, I'm sorry. We understand that. Unfortunately, there's just going to be times that we're not able to always have what the majority of players will use. So we're going to try and rotate it around. This time we're using Disney Plus. So if you guys have Disney Plus, The Nightmare Before Christmas is on Disney Plus. If it's not, I believe I heard someone say it's on Netflix again. When I checked last month, it wasn't, but maybe your Netflix has it. If not, maybe some of you already own it. I know we own a few copies of that movie. It's one of my favorite movies. So yeah, and unfortunately, if you're not able to have it, there's just not much I can do about that, and that's why we're going to try and rotate what platform it's viewed on, just so that, unfortunately, if you had Netflix and you watched the last movie, but you don't have Disney Plus and you just aren't going to have no interest in it, it's just unfortunate that sometimes this happens. It's just an event. It's just for fun. Yep, a lot of people have it on DVD. And no, Maud, it's not scary. It's not scary. It's The Nightmare Before Christmas. And it's the perfect movie to have before our Merry Halloween party, which is the very next day. So we have the drive-in on one day, which is honestly, it's looking amazing. It looks nothing like what you guys saw last time. It's pretty cool. It's very Halloweeny themed. It's a lot of fun. The very next day we will be having our the very next day we will be having the Merry Halloween party. Now, we are having a skin contest. So are you guys all listening? All right. I need you guys to the skin contest is going to be it's going to be the most blended Halloween Christmas skin you can come up with. So make sure that you guys the winner to that will be the one that's able to have the most Halloweeny Christmassy skin possible. Some of you will be purely just Halloween skins, some will be Christmas skins, things like that. But this is going to be a Halloween Christmassy skin. All right. So we're going to have a skin contest. We're going to have a build contest in this event. And we're also going to be having a big party. Now, if you want to attend the event, there's a few things you need to do. I need two things. I need you to come up with a Halloween candy that you will bring at least a stack of, so at least 64 of. And the other thing is you need to have a gift if you want to participate in a white elephant type gift exchange. Okay. It's not going to be necessarily just white elephant, but it's going to be a secret Santa-y kind of white elephant. White elephant gift exchange means that you bring a gift and that gift will get rotated around, things like that. It's kind of a fun, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced white elephant gifts, but it's kind of fun. But here's the thing. No, the gifts have to be decent. All right. It can be funny themed and like some really funny name things themed like that. And it's just, make sure you're not literally just, bringing a piece of dirt and naming it, poop or something like that.
Is it like Dirty Santa?
I'm not familiar what that term is, so I don't know. I think everyone pretty much understands. Most people understand white elephant, meaning
Dirty Santa is pretty much like someone gets a gift and you can steal the gift, and someone can steal the gift from that other person if they want to.
That's the same as white elephant. Yep, it's the same. So I had a feeling it was probably the same. Yeah, it's probably similar. So just if you want, we can go into more details about it as it gets a little bit closer. But if you wanted, holy cheese, that's terrible. If you want to participate, just make sure you bring those two things. Okay, so you need a stack of candy to give out, and for those of you that have not done one of our Halloween, ones before, a stack of candy could be like, I think the last one I gave out was redstone torches, and I named them blow pops. Or people will name the little fish. They'll do a stack of cod and name them Swedish fish. So just come up with something fun that you would give out as a candy, and then make sure you have a gift that you want to bring. Now your gift needs to be in a shulker. So you guys will have to donate one shulker, but you'll also get a shulker back, because if you decide to participate in it, you will be getting a gift as well. So 15th and 16th, you guys have those days down. The 15th is the drive-in, and then the 16th is the actual Merry Halloween event. Both of them are at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so the same time we started today. For those newer players, all of our events are at the same time, so it's easy to remember. Once you come to one, you'll always know they're always on the same time. No, it's a Saturday, Sunday, so it's 15th, 16th, I think, is Saturday, Sunday. Whatever Saturday, Sunday it is. If you look in, by the way, our monthly calendar is updated on the website. So if you don't know, you can always look on our website under events, or you can look in the event channel. It's listed there as well, things like that. So, all right. I know nobody uses the web. Nobody really uses forums. Forums are just gone. So, but anyway, so all right, so we got that, the 15th and 16th. You guys excited? If you guys have questions, ask it in the events talk. Events news just has that. We will have a pack for you. We will have music. It's going to be a combination of Christmas and Halloween music. It's going to be a fun party, so just make sure you guys are there. All right, so last but not least, if I could have a little Mr. N1n come on up. Nin, if you want to come on up. We have this go around. We just, as you guys know, completed here, and then you can stand right here. we just finished our Hitman. That was a very long, drawn out Hitman. I understand we had a lot of things playing into that. Partly we had players going out of town. We updated to 1.16 right in the middle, even though we weren't going to. We did anyway. So we had a lot of fun in it. There was some frustrations with some areas. The next round, we already have a few things that we're changing as far as the rules to the game go, just to make it even more interactive and fun. But yeah, so congratulations, first of all, to everyone that participated. It was fun to watch. You guys, I mean, some of the deaths and the traps and the mental games were pretty fun to watch. But Nin won actually on both sides of it. So the way this works for Hitman is you can win Hitman one of two ways. You can have the most limbs, or you can be the last man standing. And this is the exact same thing that happened with Ragnar last time as well. And it's pretty cool because you're a champion in both areas. Now, if I can't remember if Ragnar had beaten in, they both would have been winners because one would have gotten last man and one would have gotten one would have had the most limbs. Nin over here, he had both. So hold on 1 second. And so Nin, congratulations. I'm gonna put your sword in your inventory. You can check it out. I have something separate for the most limbs, and you'll get that afterwards. But yeah, so congratulations, Nin. So tell Nin, well done. How many limbs did you have total, Nin?
I think with Ragnar is like 7.
7, that's what I thought. Okay, so 7 limbs is pretty awesome considering we started with 21 players. And considering he had like a 2-week stalling because unfortunately his target was busy event planning. So or he might have had even more limbs. So yeah, so pretty awesome, and congrats to Nin on that. And it was a lot of fun. Like I said, we had some frustrations along the way. We learned a little bit about what we want to do next time, but each time we play, it gets better and better. And so that was pretty awesome. So way to go, Nin. Congrats. All right, guys. Well, I took up an hour. I was hoping to only take up about 30, 40 minutes, but we had a lot to go over. Does anyone have any questions about anything that's upcoming? We have a concert coming up. I don't know the exact date on that one. I'll let you guys know, but I can guarantee you a lot of you are going to be very, very happy about this concert. It's a little bit different than what we've done in the past, different genre, completely different. So, but it's something that quite a few, I'm not giving any hints. You'll have to wait till the concert team actually throws out a hint. But I can tell you that it's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll let you know as soon as we get the date for that. I think it's going to be towards the end of August. So, all right. Anybody have any questions before we close out? If so, you can unmute if you need to ask.
I'm curious if the AC Reloaded section, if we could put that at the bottom since it's not being used right now.
Well, who says it's not being? It might not be used by you, but we're using it. And by the way, for those that are wondering about AC Reloaded, it's not stopped. It's just going a little bit slower right now because of the fact that you guys know that Alyssa's on break right now. She has some stuff going on IRL that needed her full attention. So she's on a little bit of a break. APL over on AC is for the most part on a break. He's on a little bit here and there when he can be, but not at all the shift that he used to have. And so because of that, AF is covering roughly 20 hours a day right now on AC. I'm covering pretty much 100% of ACO. So because of that, we're had to, kind of prioritize things that need to happen. And ACR is a little bit further down right now because of that. Doesn't mean it's stopped. We're still working on it a little bit here and there. And we should have it up and running. My guess would be in the next few months. But again, the world's changing. Things are coming up that we just can't predict right now. So just be patient with us. It'll happen. We're excited about it. We're slowly putting together that pack so that we make sure that the mods that we do use are stable. We're not going to have things like world resets, things like that. So if anyone has questions, you can still use the channel. The channel's there. Players are still occasionally, adding stuff. Newer players that are coming in that don't know much about it are like wanting to make sure that their stuff is not crazy craft. Yeah. Players that want to make sure that their stuff gets put in there too. We have players reaching out from us from Otcraft. We have players reaching out from us from Twitter. They're not even Otcraft members, but they're excited for ACR. So, all right. Any other questions before we close out?
Where's the Tiger Forest portal?
That's not a player of the month thing. I'll talk about that after. And I saw your message,
Okay.
but I can't really stop in the middle of this to do that. So yeah, we can do that after. All right. Anyone else have any questions about events? What is this? Oh, the India's coming. Thanks. I totally forgot. All right. Starting today. For those of you TikTokers or just people that like any of that kind of fun stuff, you guys are familiar with the Andy is coming. Martin M, can you stand up and give an example? Martin, Tabby, Amoodle, anyone that's familiar? All right. So occasionally, broadcast is going to do this. And what do you guys do? Everybody drops, all right? You don't have to. It's just a fun thing that we can do, as far as in-game goes. If you guys are familiar with the Andy is coming, it's pretty hysterical. People will be literally at a grocery store and someone will say, Andy is coming, and then everyone drops to the end. So anyways, it's a fun thing. It's not just on TikTok. It's a fun thing that people do. If you guys want to play a game like this, we can do that. It's just for fun. Literally, you just drop wherever you are and sit. If you guys remember back, there was the whole if you guys do remember back in the day, there was one where people would do burpees. You'd have to stop, drop, and burpee. No, that was not a TikTok thing. It was literally just a thing that people like to do. It's just a way to interact and have fun. You don't have to do it. Back in my day, I know I'm like 90 years old, so you don't have to participate. If you guys hate TikTok, that's fine, doesn't matter. This is just something fun that we can just do kind of all as a group. We don't even have to say Andy is coming. You guys can use another terminology, anything like that. It's just an interactive fun thing that we can do. Obviously, what do we all say? 5 minutes till the time it's time to restart. When the server says restarting in 5 minutes, what do you guys all say? No, you. It's an interactive thing we do all the time. No poop, no you. Broadcast, I will say with you guys, yes you or no you. Usually I'm the first to say no you. So it's just something fun, interactive. You don't have to participate. If you want to, great. We have a really good time. We laugh a lot. If you don't, it's totally cool too. So just something kind of fun. So you might randomly see, blue is coming. Everyone sits down. Although, yeah, that's pretty funny. We can come up with something, but yeah, it's just for fun. Like I said, it's not anything serious. It's not something it's not a server event by any means or anything, but it's just for fun. So, all right. Well, with that, we will wrap. What's that?
Just like in class when the teacher's coming back and you're all being horrible,
teacher's
and like
coming, yeah.
I'm like usually the lookout in the hallway, and I scream at everyone, the teacher's back. Let's not get in trouble.
So, by the way, for those of you who are familiar with the sit plugin, it's hysterical. I'm laughing left and right at you guys sitting on various fires or things like that. I think it's been a lot of fun to see you guys using it, and yeah, it is fun. You can imagine the games we're going to play. We used to play musical carts. Well, now we're going to be incorporating the carpet or even just sitting. Another thing we're also going to be looking at is Duck Duck Goose. Yep, that's another one. We've already played it once, actually. A few of us at night when I played it. So, and basically we would have a circle and you have to sit down, and it's fun. This is kind of opening up a lot for us as far as the event side goes. So a lot more fun that we can play, or a lot more games we can play. So, all right, guys. Well, I've eaten up enough of your time today. So thanks for being here. Thanks for making ACO what it is. Like, we're growing, we're getting new players all the time. And the feedback that I'm hearing from the new players is always pretty amazing. They love the server, they love the community. And that's because of you guys. It's because of each of you that make that up. So thank you guys for being so rad. And yeah, so we have 55 minutes till player of the week. So go take a break, go get some food, go do what you need to do, walk around a little bit, and then we will all get together and go for player of the week. And Martin M died. So yay, the meeting's officially closed. It's not really anything if Martin M doesn't die at least once.
You talk to me later, boo.
I'm gonna try later. We have a lot going on today. So
Can we announce the new farm team members?
Well, they'll see them with the tag, so it's not really necessarily announcing them individually. Fortnite Saturday, yeah, absolutely. We can play some Fortnite later.
I won't be up for that though, because I never am.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's hard with time zones.
I understand everybody needs to talk, but I want to connect these close off my video.
Go ahead, do your outro. Go for it.
Thank you all for watching. This has been Dusty Circuit here for another ACO Player of the Month. Remember to rate, comment, like, and subscribe, and stay tuned for my next upcoming content. Peace out.
Peace out. See ya.
Peace.
Dusty, did you just see what Spacey said? Spacey said satisfactory Saturday.